Hello students, and welcome to the Grammarly tutorial of the Earlham College Writing Center. Here you'll see that we're starting out on the Writing Center's website, earlham.edu/writing-center. So we advocate that you come to the Writing Center for a peer tutorial, a conversation with another student here at Earlham in order to discuss your paper, but perhaps you're interested in learning more about grammar or in proofreading your own papers using some expert sources. If you click on the Grammarly tab on our website, you can learn about a computer software that might make this easier for you. Grammarly checks for grammatical errors, misspelled words, words used in the wrong context, and misused punctuation. It's a very comprehensive version of perhaps a spell checker or a grammar checker in a word processor. But instead of just changing your grammar, it gives you explanations about the rule that's been broken and then gives examples of how you might correct these sentences as well as examples of correct usage in general. It's free to Earlham students, so if you want to learn more about grammar and perhaps make yourself a better proofreader, this might be a good tool. To register, you're going to go to grammarly.com/edu. I will go there now. If you've never used Grammarly before, you're going to click on the Sign Up button. Here it will ask for your name, your email, and a password. Your email needs to be the earlham.edu email that you've used in order to be able to sign up. However, once you've done that, you can go to log in to access your account. In my case, I've used this program before, but you'll see something similar to this when you first log in. It will say to copy and paste your text or upload a document. So let's say I'm working on my paper for Ancient Rhetoric. In order to work on this paper, I'm going to copy and paste the text of it here. You can also click Upload. Check to make sure that the whole paper has been imported, and then scroll over Start Review. In my case, the correct setting is selected, Academic Essay. But if you have another kind of document here, it might be beneficial to let the grammar checker know what you're writing. So I'll stick with Academic Essay and click Start Review. So what it's going to tell me on the right here are various forms of grammatical errors and stylistic errors. Style is a complicated concept in English, but basically it refers to things that are not technically ungrammatical, but are not commonly used or may be confusing. So many things like passive voice, word choice, and wordiness are actually choices that you can decide whether or not you want to use. You don't have to eliminate wordiness in order to be grammatically correct, but doing it will make your paper stronger and easier for people to read. Similarly, some of the suggestions from the grammar checker may actually not apply to your particular situation. So here, deliberative democracy depends on a digital phronesis. This is such a highly specific sentence that perhaps I'm actually correct and I need to keep A. Now that I look at it, I actually would like to remove A, which means I'm going to go to the suggested correction and click on it. This way, Grammarly allows you to revise as you're reading about these kinds of errors and stylistical choices. So here, we see a split infinitive and also the option of changing to a prepositional phrase. So instead of to make oratorical choices, of making oratorical choices. In this case, this would actually make the meaning of the sentence unclear. So I'm going to click Next, which means I'm not really wanting to change that right now. If you really don't want to change it, and you know you're never going to change your mind, you can click Ignore, and it will forget that error. So let's say you've gone through all of these and determined which ones were actually correct changes for your paper. Another option is to click the plagiarism checker. Plagiarism, obviously, is when you use someone else's work without giving a reference for where that work came from. And so Grammarly searches the internet to see if you've cited anything and not given credit for where it came from. As you can see, it's picked up on 3% of my paper, but you need to read through that to make sure that it is actually plagiarism. Here, it picked up a citation that I already gave credit for and placed in quotes, which means that I knew it came from a source. The same with this piece. So those two sections were not actually plagiarism, but it certainly doesn't hurt to go through your paper and make sure that you haven't forgotten a citation. Over time, you can use your dashboard feature to see what kinds of errors you tend to use or have the most often. As we can see, I have only a little bit of problems with punctuation, but if I click on it, it gives me information about how I can do better and examples so that I can understand them. Hopefully, Grammarly will be a good addition to your paper writing process. I also hope that you use the Writing Center as a place to bounce your ideas off of a smart peer, as well as a place to discuss papers in any stage of the writing process. Thank you, and have a good day.